All right, so every year we have some anticipated movies and TV shows, and we are here to talk about them. So this first list is going to be a list of upcoming horror movies that are not part of an established IP. They don't have any. This isn't a sequel. It's not a remake. These are all somewhat original, at least. Not anything is ever completely original these days, but this is the list of most anticipated films that are not sequels or remakes or anything like that. First up, some of these are all some of these are coming out very, very soon. The soonest of them being Presence, which is like a haunted house flick from director Steven Soderbergh, starring Lucy Liu. I don't know a lot about this one. I don't either. Keeping it very vague, but this comes out next week. This week we got Wolfman, which will be on the other list, but that's obviously a remake. But this will be the next week. And then the week after that, we get Companion, which is our next film on this list, which has Sophie Thatcher in it, who is a rising horror starlet, who I would definitely put high on the list of scream queens.
Oh, now, yeah, definitely.
After Heretic last year, and she's obviously also in Yellow Jackets, and she's had quite a few horror roles in recent memory.
It's good. I like her a lot, so I'm glad to see her getting more.
I don't know exactly what this is about. I do remember kind of seeing a trailer, but avoiding the details as much as I could. But my understanding of this kind of reminds me a bit of like a horror take on The Secretary.
Oh. I don't know about that.
No, am I crazy on that?
No, I don't think I paid that much attention to the trailer either, but I remember that it was like from the people who brought you like The Notebook or something, and then it was like, and the people who brought you a horror movie. Yeah. It was like some combo like that. I totally don't remember what movies.
The only reason I'm stoked for this.
I think it was Barbarian.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's the director of Barbarian.
Yes, but then it was like the first one was like some romance. I don't know if it was The Notebook. Maybe it was, but it was like that was the first thing, and then Barbarian. So I have no idea though if it's going to be like a horror take on The Secretary. I don't know.
I don't know either, but it's the actress that's brought me into this, and the director as well.
Yeah,
I wasn't as huge on Barbarian as everyone else, but I did quite enjoy it, and so because of those two reasons there, I am looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason I am completely crazy and it's just the producers of Barbarian, but I'm pretty positive it's the director. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, next up, these next two I'm super, super excited for. One being a slasher film called Heart Eyes, which comes out February 7th. This one is from the director of Werewolves Within, which I quite enjoyed. It also has Devon Sawa in it, which is very exciting. But yeah, man, I saw a little bit of this. I love the look of the killer. This feels like a very throwback classic slasher with violent kills.
Yeah.
And a very cool looking killer, stalker, antagonist, slasher. So sign me all the way up for this.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one for sure.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really fun. I'm always excited to get new slashers, and I feel like we had In a Violent Nature last year, which I liked, but like having like an iconic kind of slasher.
Yeah.
Obviously I think the last one's probably Art the Clown.
Yeah.
And the more that I'm like liking the Terrifier movies less and less, honestly, as they go on. So I'm down to see like a new slasher.
Yeah. I'm very, very excited for this one, because anytime that we get a slasher film, like a high profile slasher film that looks like it's gonna go all in, I am so here for it. And if this spawns a franchise, so be it. Fantastic. We have Thanksgiving coming with a second one probably next year. So more slasher franchises, the merrier.
Yeah.
I'm all here for a resurgence
Yeah.
of slasher films in mainstream cinema. I would love to see a whole new slate, a whole new era of like, a resurgence of like the 80s slasher when we were getting, I mean, there was a time and where we got like a Jason, a Michael, a Freddy, a Leatherface, Chucky, like all in the
Mhm.
same year,
Yeah.
or at least within a year or two of each other. And they were all in the cinema around the same time. Like,
Mhm.
oh my God, bring back those days, please. I'd love that. All right, next up, we've got Osgood Perkins' follow up to Longlegs called The Monkey, which comes out February 21st. And this has Elijah Wood, it has Rowan Campbell, it has a lot of cool actors in it. And, this being a follow up to Longlegs, I love Osgood as a director. It being a Stephen King adaptation and having this cast, I mean, how could I not be stoked? And
Yeah.
this being so quick after Longlegs.
So quick.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is less than a year.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this one. I mean,
I don't know anything
I
about
don't
it.
know anything about it
No,
either.
I
I
don't want
know
to.
I've watched the trailer a couple times, but I kind of like zone out and just look at the pictures.
Yeah, it's very vague
Um
anyway.
yeah, but I'm super excited because I think, Osgood Perkins is like, a fantastic director. He's got a great sense of atmosphere and like creepiness. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. This one, I mean, I guess this is technically an adaptation of a book, but this has never been made into a film before. I've actually read two of the three books. Kaylee's read one of them. This was a book that we read for our very short lived horror book club
Mm.
that we did. And this is Clown in a
Hmm.
Cornfield.
Yeah.
This comes out May 9th. Um, this is one I'm looking forward to mostly because this kind of is almost nostalgic for
Mm.
me that this was a book club thing that we
Yeah.
talked about this book. And I actually read the sequel just in case everybody else wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I think one other person also had read the book and we talked about it privately for a second. And now there is a third one out as well. Which I probably will read at some point. But I will be curious on how this is adapted. Once again, this is another slasher. I didn't love the book, but I am curious to see how this will play as an adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not, I mean, it's only May, so
Yeah.
we're only about 4 months out from that.
That's
We have
quick.
not gotten a trailer for this. So we'll
Mm.
see. We'll see,
Curious.
every time we do these most anticipated lists, at least one or two of them
Yeah.
don't get released.
Yeah, that's true.
That always happens. They always
Yeah.
get pushed. Something that did get a little tease, I think it was today, and we are getting a full trailer soon, is the adaptation of the video game Until Dawn,
Hmm.
which is supposed to come out here in April 25th. So only 3 months
Hmm.
away. But we are getting a trailer, so it looks very strong that we will be
Yeah.
getting this on the date that we have got. Now, what I did not know about this, I knew it was coming out, but what I did not know is that David F. Sandberg, director of Lights Out and Annabelle Creation, is actually directing this film,
Oh.
which has definitely moved it up my anticipated list because of him directing it. And it is also being written by Gary Dauberman, who wrote It Chapter 1 and 2, who directed
Hmm.
Annabelle Comes Home and also wrote all the Annabelle movies. So that made me go, And the fact that they're kind of doing it almost as a Groundhog Day-esque
Mm.
film
Yeah.
where these characters are dying and then having to like relive it over and try to survive until dawn.
Yeah. That's
Um,
cool.
I like that. I saw a buddy of mine, Brett from Real Horror, or yeah, he's like a big fan of this and was like not thrilled at all
Oh.
with that little tease. He thought like, I want the game exactly like the
Mm.
game, and this is like a totally new thing, which I get.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
I understand
understand,
that
but
too.
I don't think there's a way to do the game. The game's already so cinematic and already feels like a movie you're in control of. To just do the same thing, but you're not in control of it, seems like you're taking away the element that made it work. And so
Mm.
coming up with a unique concept of making it like the the characters are making their own choices by dying over and over again,
Yeah.
I think is a smart way to approach the story.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely will watch it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. So, we played Until Dawn
Mhm.
once. We are currently playing The Quarry as we speak, which is also made by the same people.
Yeah.
And I played a lot of those dark picture anthology
Mhm.
games, which I actually streamed here on the channel. So I'm pretty familiar with that company overall. And Until Dawn is definitely a good one. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the adaptation. All right, next up, we've got a movie called Sinners, which comes out April 18th. So this is another one that's pretty soon. This stars Michael B. Jordan and is directed by Ryan Coogler. I know Michael B. Jordan plays two different characters in this, and this is a vampire film. I think Ryan Coogler makes really good films. I really enjoyed Creed. I really enjoyed Black Panther, Fruitvale Station. So, and he works with Michael B. Jordan on like every movie he makes. So it's no surprise that Michael B. Jordan, who I love, I think is a great actor, them making like a higher profile vampire film together, I'm all in.
I don't know anything about this movie.
Yeah, I
So,
think this is the first time you're ever even
yeah.
hearing about it.
I don't even think I've
Uh,
seen a trailer or anything.
No, but there is a trailer out right now, but I have not seen it, but I don't need to see it. Trailers for me are for people who aren't sure, right? If they're
Yeah.
going to see a movie. If you're already going to see a movie, a trailer is kind
Mhm.
of pointless. But we'll watch them here and there, right? It
Yeah, of
depends.
course.
It depends. Especially if I already know the story, like with
Yeah.
The Last of Us or something. It's like I already know the story, so might as well just see like a little glimpse because I can't wait. But anyway, all right. Another one that's coming out this year. It has a tentative release date currently of 2025, but no fixed specific date. One we did see a trailer to and looks really fun is the A24 film Death of a Unicorn
Oh yeah.
with Jenna Ortega,
Yeah.
as well as Paul Rudd and Will Poulter.
Mhm.
This looks like a kind of a dark comedy,
Mhm.
horror film from A24. So, from what I saw of the trailer, very fun, very unique, and it's A24. It's Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
It's
It's kind of like a set deal.
Yeah. I mean, without question, we're gonna be seeing this one.
Yeah.
Very excited.
That's cool.
Yeah. Um, Next up, we have a movie called Drop, which is supposed to be coming out April 11th. And the only reason that I have any interest in this one is because this is being directed by Christopher Landon,
Oh, okay.
who directed Freaky, Happy Death Day
Yeah.
1 and 2. He also wrote, some of the Paranormal Activity movies. He also directed Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, which is probably my favorite Paranormal Activity movie. So
Fun
Chris
director.
Landon is a very good director. Now, that being said, he did not write this.
Mm.
So I like his writing. He was supposed to be the one writing and directing Scream 7
Mm.
before Melissa
Yeah.
Barrera was fired very stupidly.
Yes.
And so Chris Landon left the project after Jenna Ortega left as well. He was like, I'm out. No, thank you. So we'll always have to wonder what that movie would have been. I was very excited for that. I thought Christopher Landon was the perfect person for a Scream movie, paired up with, doing the third movie in the Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega movies. So super, super bummed, but this
Mm.
is kind of his film that he made instead.
Mm.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I read a little bit about it,
Drop. Mm.
with like a girl on a date,
Mm.
which we actually watched a movie like that, 2 years ago with that chick on a date,
Mm.
that goes super sideways and she's like running from him the whole time. Anyway, all right, next up, this might come out this year. It is in post production. This is one that I'm super excited for, even though I wasn't super in love with his last film. His other two films before that are masterpieces and some of the greatest horror movies ever made, in my opinion. This is Ari Aster's new movie called Edington. It
Mm.
stars Joaquin Phoenix once again, but this time he brings in Emma Stone, Pedro Pascal, and Austin Butler.
Hmm.
So
Well, yeah, we'll see because we need to rewatch Beau is Afraid, I
yeah,
think, because we were not like that into it when we saw it.
that's not
Um,
100% true.
but
I fucking loved the
we,
movie up until he got hit by the car. And
well,
then
yeah,
everything from there got so bizarre that
yeah,
I lost.
it's a very like abstract film
I mean, I was
after that
in
point.
love with
There was
it.
some really cool stuff going on in the beginning that I know we both liked. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we just will have to see with
Yeah.
this one. I mean, it's got a great cast, but I don't know. I mean, he might do something really bizarre again that doesn't vibe with us, and
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
hope not. Though I'd really like to love it.
The addition of Emma Stone has me very excited. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously, Poor Things was my favorite film of
sure.
2023. Emma Stone is one of my favorite actresses in Hollywood. So bringing her in is, of course, always going to be a major plus. Pedro Pascal, obviously, being a huge addition as well here. So
Mm.
I don't know literally anything about the film other than it's Ari
Yeah,
Aster, right?
I don't either.
In the cast. So
Yeah,
it remains to be seen what this will be, but if it can be on the level of something like a Hereditary or Midsommar, then oh my god, it's
I
going to be
mean,
like my favorite film of the year.
yeah,
But Beau is Afraid is something. It's probably one of the films I need to rewatch most.
yeah, I think so too.
So hopefully I love it on the second viewing.
I hope so.
Yes,
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. All right, lastly here we have a movie called Hope.
Mm.
I hope this comes out. This is another one that is slated for 2025, but has no fixed actual date. So this could or could not happen. The reason that I'm excited for this one is because this is from the director of The Wailing, as well
Hmm.
as The Chaser, The Yellow Sea, and he also wrote The Medium.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
Excellent
Yeah.
filmmaker. So anything this guy makes is going to jump up my list immediately. But that's all we know about it. There's nothing really
Yeah.
released on it much other than this director, which, I mean, he's made such incredible stuff. Hasn't made a lot. Yellow Sea, The Chaser, and um, The Wailing are all excellent films,
Mm.
but they're usually very spaced out. He takes
Mm.
his time making his movies, and that brings you quality over quantity.
Mm.
But will this see the light of day in 2025?
That's a good question.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah, I
So
really like the wailing.
yeah. So hope. Let's
Hope.
hope that comes out, and I'll stop with that pun. So there are some movies to look forward to that are original or adaptations that
Yeah.
are not that haven't been made into films or sequels or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
what are
that's
you
some
most
stuff.
looking forward to from this list?
Um, I don't know. Probably the monkey,
Yeah, I
I
figured you'd
think.
say that after Long Legs.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because the I mean, I'm interested in all the rest of them. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna say the monkey.
Yeah,
What about you?
Eddington.
Oh, okay.
If it comes
Yeah.
out, it's Ari Aster. I
Yeah.
mean, Hereditary is probably my favorite horror film of the last like 20 or 30
It's
years.
mine too. Yeah.
Midsommar is like probably in my top five of the last like 20 or 30 years. I mean, the guy has made two of my favorite horror movies of all time. And Beau is Afraid is not like a complete failure.
Yeah.
It was just something that I was like so taken aback by
Yeah.
when we saw it. Like, whoa, this is weird. Has one of the most bizarre endings of a film I've ever watched in my life. It is such an out there film. But that doesn't mean that I won't love it in subsequent
Yeah.
viewings. It's just as of right now, I only seen it the one time and maybe didn't fully appreciate it for what it was, or maybe it was just a misfire.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it
I don't know. It
happens.
does happen.
You know,
We will have to revisit it
because
before.
I mean, if we look at like Quentin Tarantino, for instance,
Mm.
love Reservoir Dogs. Pulp Fiction is, I mean, 10 out of 10, one of the greatest films ever made. I did not like Jackie Brown, his third film. I've never been a big fan of it.
Hmm.
And then he followed that up with Kill Bill, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All movies that are like 10 out of 10s for me. So that third film, maybe Ari Aster will be like Quentin. He'll
Yeah.
have that one film,
That
his
you just
third
never
film, that I'm
like.
like, I'm not big on this, and then
Yeah.
everything he makes from there is fantastic. You never know. Paul Thomas
Yeah.
Anderson was another filmmaker I absolutely loved, and everything he put out was amazing to me. And then he made Inherent Vice, and I wasn't huge on it. And but everything else he's ever made, I was in love with. So
Yeah.
you never know. Filmmakers can always have that like misfire here and there. Doesn't
Mhm.
mean that they're not going to make fantastic films that you love.
Mhm.
It just sometimes you don't vibe with something they're making. So anyway, that's that. What are
Yeah.
your most anticipated films? We're going to be making a sequels and remake video as well. So you can look for those titles there, and we'll see you there. Adios.
Bye.